Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Welcome to episode 44 of the 500. This is the show where we have taken the Pro Wrestling Illustrated PWI 500 from 2021, turned it into a single elimination tournament, and we've been at this for 44 weeks now. It's been longer than that because we took breaks for holidays and stuff. Also, for apparently the third week in a row, I'm not getting audio from the game. So I'm just going to throw a little background music on there. License-free music. So our opening contest tonight is going to be pitting the 459th seed Biff Busick against the number 331 Zachary Wentz. Both guys, at the time of the list being released, were on the WWE roster. Now neither of them are. Although it might be interesting to see if Busick winds up getting called back, because he seems like the kind of guy Triple H likes. So, as I mentioned, we took the PWI 500, turned it into a single elimination tournament. We have gone through 3 rounds. Well, most of 4 rounds at this point. This is the last night of rounds 3 and 4. We've got 12 matches, 8 third-round matches, and then the winners of those will meet in 4 fourth-round matches. And then starting next week, the round of 32 will kick off. We'll have 2 weeks of that, and then we will be down to 8. And then we'll have the finale in 3 weeks. So that's pretty wild that we've actually almost finished this insane tournament. We've had 456 matches over the course of 43 episodes. So it's been a lot of work, but it's been a lot of fun too. Biff Busick in the blue tights, formerly known as Oni Lorcan, if you follow WWE. He upset Alexander Hammerstone in round 1 with a spinning Dr. Bomb. That was the 10th longest match of the tournament at 24 minutes and 15 seconds. Got 100% quality from Fire Pro. We are using Fire Pro Wrestling World to simulate these matches. And then he beat Dominic Guarini in round 2. And at number 459, he is the 4th lowest seed remaining in the tournament. Pretty wild. 44 wrestlers remaining. One of them is seeded 459th, and that's only the 4th lowest seed left. He has met Zachary Wentz once in ring. It was a tag team match. Busick, then Oni Lorcan, was teaming with Danny Burch against Wentz, then Nash Carter and Wes Lee as MSK. MSK won that match on an episode of NXT TV last August. Wentz, the number 331 seed, also very low seed. He upset Luke Jacobs in round 1, and then Eddie Kingston in round 2 to get to this point. So the winner of this match is going to move on to face the winner between Adam Priest and Yuji Nagata. That match will happen, both the Priest-Nagata match and then the match between the winners. Both of those will happen later on in this episode. Right now, Busick in control. That pump kick. Go behind on Wentz. Going into just an over-the-shoulder, sort of a reverse headlock takeover. Wentz fires back with an enziguri. Looked like he was going to run off the ropes, but saw that Busick was getting back to his feet. Wise move by the relatively young Wentz, 28 years old, only a pro for 7 years. The sickest dude in all the land. Easy enough for me to say there. Busick, on the other hand, 36 years old, a 14-year pro. Slides between the legs of Wentz. Wentz was going for a backdrop, but and now returning the favor. Okay, they both slid between each other's legs. Wentz whiffs on a crossbody attempt and needs a fist from Busick, one of the hardest hitters in wrestling. Sent into the corner now by Wentz. Series of kicks. What's he doing now? Okay, well, a Bronco Buster. All right, Wentz has clearly been watching his Attitude Era Sean Waltman tapes. Rolling elbow there from Busick, though. Busick has been watching his 90s All Japan Misawa tapes. I fully expected by this point Wentz would have really taken to the skies more. He's definitely more of a high flyer than Busick, who's more of a technical, all-rounder type. But Wentz is, there, deep arm drag there, proving me wrong, 8 minutes in. I am also, yes, I'm also, there we go. Professional show business. Yes, hopefully he wasn't watching that Sean Waltman tape. Or the more recent one where he injured his... to be indelicate about it, he tore his butthole in a match a couple years ago. 1, 2, that was not what happened there. That was just a backslide from Wentz. Exploder suplex from Busick, pulling Wentz to his feet, and Wentz just elbows him in the face. That is, of course, Zachary Wentz again. Oh, cutter from Wentz, and Busick just pops right back to his feet. Neck breaker. Wentz, of course, formerly half of MSK, 1/3 of the Rascals. And then, we found out some things about his personal life. It turns out he's a little more than just a rascal, but that's a whole different conversation for a whole different stream. Being choked out on the floor by Busick, but somehow he's first to his feet. A series of forearms takes him down. Busick brought a chair out from under the ring, hit him in the gut with it once, and he's just going to leave it out there, apparently. Series of strikes now from Busick. Another mistimed run off the ropes, but Wentz actually gets the better of that exchange. And then a forearm to the back of the head. European up. Here we go. There's a strike exchange for you. Busick will, seems like the favorite to come out on top of that. But Wentz fires back with a super kick. Both men down, but Busick actually first to his feet after eating that super kick. Fires off a European uppercut. Dragging Wentz back toward the logo. Goes for the pin. Does not hook a leg. 2.9. Almost didn't need it, but if he hooked the leg, he might have done it. Following Wentz into the corner now, setting him up top, looking for a superplex, perhaps. Yes, oh no! Brainbuster off the top rope. Does not go for a pin after an avalanche brainbuster, and Wentz hits the stroke. A skull-crushing finale, or whatever you want to call it. And then an enziguri. And then just a straight punch to the face from Busick. And Busick poses because he... Wentz rolls him up! 1, 2.9. Very close there. Busick almost got caught showing off. Goes right back on the offensive, though. European uppercut, then an elbow to the spine, and then an elbow to the back of the head. Wentz again with the roll-up. Too close to the ropes, says Dan Engler. Past the 14-minute mark now. We're still, 10 minutes shy of Busick's marathon match with Hammerstone from round 1. That is the 10th longest match of the tournament at 24:15. This one probably won't go that far since we've had a bunch of near falls already. Wentz now off the ropes. Running knee. We're talking about watching tapes. He's been watching his Brian and Kenta tapes. Busick rolls him over, go behind. Half and half suplex. Wentz actually quickly to his feet. Now sent off the ropes. And Busick with a diving European uppercut. Going to the top rope. That's a long dive for no result. But he manages to roll Wentz up instead. 2, 3. That does it. 15 minutes, 54 seconds. And Biff Busick, the number 459 seed, advances to the round of 64. That is how this tournament has gone. Man, we're one match in, we're one upset in. That's in a lot of ways that is to be expected in this tournament. We've had so many high seeds not make it. Currently, we're 3 weeks away from the quarterfinals. Only 2 of the top 8 seeds in the tournament are still in it. So there have been upsets aplenty. 15 minutes, 54 seconds. They're calling that a roll-up pin. That's a good name for it, I suppose. If Busick advances, he will face actually the winner of our next match. Because this whole section of the bracket is made up of low seeds. We just saw 459 beat 331, and we are about to see 267 and 395 as Adam Priest, another independent star, takes on New Japan's legend Yuji Nagata. It does take just a second to set this up, all in real time. Gotta go. Leader and only member of Segigun. Go. There's Adam Priest. All right, let's head down to ringside for match number 2. I do like this background music. Yes, that's how long Yuji Nagata has been around. You gotta root for the guy who was in WCW versus NWO Revenge for a very long time. Back in my CFED days, I used the Nagata lock as a finish. So that's how long I've been a fan of Yuji Nagata. Blue Justice. Nagata, the number 395 seed in our tournament, upset A Kid, now known as Axiom, back in round 1. And then Jeff Cobb in round 2. That was a 100% quality match. Nagata's the 8th lowest seed remaining. Adam Priest, he beat Flip Gordon in round 1 and then pulled off the massive upset over Cody Rhodes in round 2. We will see which of these two will move on to face Biff Busick later on tonight. Elbow Nagata fires him in. Nope, they're just kind of not on the same page there. That's all right. That happens sometimes. Maybe a bit of a language barrier. Yes, indeed. Yuji Nagata was managed for probably most of his WCW run by Sonny Ono. So, always got a soft spot for old Sonny. And the Dragon, who unfortunately has already been eliminated from the tournament. Not a great year for tournaments for old. Am I flickering on the actual stream? No, that's just on my screen. Cool. I was trying to transition into talking about AAA's Ruleta de la Muerte tournament that just wrapped up last night at Triple Mania. Which Dragon was part of. For those of you not familiar, we've talked about it a couple times on this stream, but the Ruleta de la Muerte it literally means like roulette of death. They took 8 legendary masked wrestlers and put them in a single elimination tournament, like this one, with only 8. Except the rules in that one were the losers advanced. So if you won, you were eliminated. Because when it got down to the finals, the loser of the final match had to unmask. So you had Ultimate Dragon, you had El Canek, you had just all these like legendary luchadors, Blue Demon Jr., all putting their masks on the line in this tournament. And then last night in the main event of Triple Mania, the final 2 were Pentagon Jr. and Viano 4. Speaking of guys that have been around forever, although the Vianos were not actually in WCW Revenge. They should have been. They were just as much a part of the WCW roster at that point as Nagata was. 1 count only, says referee Adrian Butler. Spoilers, I suppose, but considering Triple Mania is AAA is pretty much impossible to watch in the States, although you can order the show from last night on Fight TV. Yes, I do believe that was 4. It was either 4 or 5, and I think it was 4. That's. I'll see if I can drop a link from. I'll try to find a YouTube link of that during the intermission and drop it in the chat, because that is but Viano 4 lost, so he had to unmask and revealed himself to be Tomas Mendoza. yeah, it wasn't a surprise that he was one of the sons of Ray Mendoza, because all Villanos are. But we did get to see his face, and he's a 42-year pro, and he's been in a lot of bloody wars. He was an old man with tons of scars on his forehead, and basically he looked like what you would expect Villano 4 to look like. Very cool moment at the end with him and Pentagon, and the original El Fantasma was there to kind of he wasn't the official. He was Marty Elias was the referee. He was there to kind of oversee the ceremony of the unmasking and all of that. That's always a big deal in Mexico when somebody loses a lucha de apuestas and has to give up their mask. Crossface from Adam Priest at the 8-minute mark. Brutal move, one that Nagata has felt before. He manages to get out of it before too much damage can be done. Spinning heel kick right on the jaw. You kind of had to know going in that Penta wasn't going to lose his mask. I don't know if that was part of the deal with AEW, or if it was just a matter of they weren't going to do it. It was Villano's getting close to retirement age, and it's it was time to show the world who he was. AEW would have clearly done a story leading into it if it was going to be Penta losing the mask. Which, to be honest, earlier in the tournament, I thought that was the reason that La Facción Ingobernable kept trying to take Penta and Fénix's masks, was because eventually Penta was going to lose the mask. But then when that story got dropped, it became pretty clear that Penta wasn't losing the tournament, and that it was going to be Villano instead. There were actually 2 Luchas de Apuestas matches last night. The other being Cibernetico against Pagano in a hair versus hair match that, surprisingly, to me at least, Pagano won. So Cibernetico got his haircut. Pagano now undefeated in Luchas de Apuestas. Priest with a diving headbutt. He's busting out all of the Crippler best greatest hits. 2.9 count on that diving headbutt. Shoulder breaker over the shoulder from Nagata. A good show overall. There were some technical difficulties on the fight stream, but it's fight, so you get what you pay for, I guess. Side suplex into a pin. 2.9. Priest kicks out. It's weird to say this, but my friend Camille, who's one of the assistant trainers at FXE, fortunately, I should have specified the Cripplers in-ring greatest hits. Of course, we'll see what happens later, I suppose. Camille is a friend, and she came up just short of beating Taya Valkyrie for the AAA Reina de Reinas title. As expected, Rey Fénix and El Hijo del Vikingo put on a banger of a match for the AAA Mega title that Vikingo won to retain, keeping Fénix from adding a 4th title, because he is currently the AAA Cruiserweight Champion, the AAA National Champion, and of course AEW Trios Champion. Another crossface from Nagata. Getting into the ropes, yes. Hold is broken, and now a crossface from Priest. They are usually see guys exchanging strikes. These guys exchanging crossfaces. Nagata apparently has been studying his John Cena. Release German suplex. And a step-up Enziguri. There's also a really good 4-way tag match to open the show that Los Hermanos Lee won. It also included, one of my favorite, Nagata Lock, or one of the variations on the Nagata Lock. I can't remember if that's 1 or 2. Go behind for Priest, German suplex into the bridge, but he was in the ropes. Ring awareness, Adam. Nagata signaling this might be the end. Another Enziguri catches him right on the back of the head. Leg trip there by Priest, though. catch his breath. Now sent off the ropes. Ducks a spinning heel kick. Nagata tries it again and lands it that time. But yeah, that 8-man tag match had a couple of dance breaks for Willie Mack. So if that's your speed, there was a lot of that. Mack teamed with Arez. Also, who else was in that match? I'm forgetting who the other teams were, but good stuff all around. There's also a fun trios match with Bandito and Laredo Kid, who we'll see later on tonight. Man, I am sleep deprived. That show ran past midnight last night, and then I was up early. Big belly-to-belly overhead suplex by Nagata. But anyway, the reason I was bringing up that trios match, it was fun, but the highlight of it was Johnny Caballero's entrance. The former, Johnny Nitro, Johnny Mundo, Johnny Impact, Johnny Elite, Johnny Nitro, John Morrison, John Hennigan. He's Johnny Caballero in AAA. And he had like an old-timey Western. Hold on, nope, that doesn't do it. Closing in on 20 minutes now. It was basically like an NPC from Red Dead come out onto the ramp and sing a song about Johnny Caballero, and then he made his entrance riding a stick horse, and it was great. He was with Sam Adonis and Brian Cage in that match, and that was a lot of fun. Commander was in the 8-man tag, but I can't remember who his partner was. Becoming a really big fan of Commander. I think he's maybe the next Phoenix style breakout American, not American, but luchador in America. He's really exciting. He's one of those guys that can do things that shouldn't be physically possible. I'm sure Lucha GIFs has already gifted a ton of his stuff from last night, so check that out. Priest going to the top rope. Is he going for that headbutt again? He is. He hits it a little bit, kind of looking more like a shoulder block, but that's just animation. 1, 2, kick out by Nagata. And an implant DDT for Blue Justice. Lateral press. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Yuji Nagata, number 395, moves on. It's going to be 395 and 459 later on tonight for a spot in the final 32. That is still to come. But an implant DDT from Nagata is enough to pick up the win. Making sure to put in the results tonight. I did not do so hot last week of remembering to do that every time. 99% quality according to Fire Bro. First match was 96, so we are definitely off to a hotter start this week than we were last. That's 57 seconds. Implant DDT. That does it for Adam Priest, who put on a heck of a run through this tournament. Yes, indeed. Always happy to see the old timers like us moving on. Means there's hope for us yet. Maybe not much, but some. So we've got another match coming up, pitting a star of New Japan against a star of the independent scene. Although I have read some conflicting things, I think the indie guy may have retired. It's surprisingly hard sometimes to find information about not obscure indie guys, but not top level indie guys. So we're operating under the assumption that if he did retire, he's coming out of retirement for one last run through this tournament, and that is Kung Fu Donnie Janela the cousin of Joey Janela, who will be taking on New Japan Pro Wrestling's El Desperado. Why don't you come to your senses? You've been out riding fences for so long. All right, Eagles humor for you there. It's up already. Donnie Janela making his way to the ring, the number 486 seed, is the lowest remaining seed in the tournament. I'm sorry, the second lowest. He upset Adam Scherr, who's now back to being Braun Strowman, back in round 1, which was the third biggest upset of the tournament. Janela, number 486. Janela's 486. Scherr was 27. And then he beat Trevor Aeon in round 2. They do, don't they? I think, I was going to say it. It's sort of wrestling adjacent because Terry Funk used that as his theme when he was in ECW, but then the harsh reality of ECW closed. Someone who was born the day ECW closed can legally drink now. So that's a fun reminder of my imminent death. El Desperado, on the other hand, defeated Jessica Troy back in round 1, and then Odinson in round 2. For those of you who did not piece it together, that's Desperado wearing the mask. And Janela, that looks like his cousin, Joey Janela. Already know, based on the results of our first 2 matches, that the first match back from intermission later on will be between Yuji Nagata and Biff Busick, because they are far and away the combined 2 lowest seeds. No matter what happens in any of the other matches, stand by. I think there's something about to pop up on the screen. I'm going to get rid of it as soon as I can. Yep, hold on, go away. That's not for the folks at home. That's my it's my cheat sheet to keep track of the order of matches. I just forgot to open it before I launched the show today. As I mentioned, I was up past midnight to watch Triple Mania, and then I had stuff to do today because I'm an adult. Although it doesn't feel like it sometimes, because, here I am. Yep. Yeah, you can check out my book, Exposing the Business. 6 months in the industry by yours truly, Pat Dooley. Coming soon. Jessica Carr, the referee, counts to 2, but still very early in the match. That would far and away set the record for shortest match of the tournament so far. Which, incidentally, just in case it comes up, the shortest match of the tournament was 6 minutes, 20 seconds when Tyler Bate beat EC3 way back in episode 7. But yeah, six months into wrestling school, and I'm already exposing the business. My trainers would be so disappointed. Elbow to the spine from Desperado. That's kind of one of the go-tos in Fire Pro. It's like the old the gut kick in the Ukes games back in the day. I genuinely don't know what to call that. I thought he was going to go for like an air raid crash, but instead he just a spear. Then he just, it's kind of like an inverted. That's a stretch muffler. Inverted big ending almost. Reversal on the whip. Janela catches himself on the ropes. See Janela, 32 years old, aka Kung Fu Janela, aka Donnie Primetime, aka Donnie Popham. Let's see, when was his last match? He just had a match last month. He's not retired. The internet lies. He lost to Bam Sullivan in that match. Not to be confused with Bam Neely, Terry Bam Bam Gordy, or Bam Bam Bigelow, presumably, considering 2 of them are dead. Is Bam Neely still around? I haven't heard about Bam Neely in forever. Anyway. Double underhook. Sit out Angel's Wings there from Desperado. Now up to the top rope. Just a missile shotgun drop kick to the back of the head. Off the ropes. Oh, he went for a flying fist. Superman punch, if you will. Cradle pile driver from Janela. The pin does not hook a leg. 2.9. Gotta wonder if he hooked the leg, if that might have been enough. Now the running shoulder block. Reversal on the whip. Desperado flips up and over him. And a Death Valley driver. Neely is alive, just retired. Excellent. Glad to hear it. Hope you're well, Bam. Speaking of well wishes to former 500 participant. I believe she was number 499 on last year's list. Kaya McKenna, who I just saw the video maybe a half hour before we went on air of her, hold on, vertebreaker coming up from Desperado. It's the leg. 1, 2. Oh, wow. Janela hangs in there. Kaya McKenna re-injured an injured shoulder last night in it looked like a mixed tag match. I'm not sure the results, the details of the match itself. I just know in the clip I saw, Mike Bennett was getting ready to do a move to somebody. Kaya ran in, hit him with a forearm across the back, and I don't know if she hit at a weird angle or if Mike just has a spine of steel, but when she hits him, you can hear her shoulder pop out of joint. And then the arm just immediately goes limp. Yes, he is. That's definitely a sign of that when vertebreaker is not enough to keep you down. So best wishes to Kaya. She seems to be in pretty good spirits about it on Twitter. And Mike Bennett reached out. Consummate Pro 2.9. Desperado kicks out again. Bennett offered to, if there's, oh my God, I don't know that I've ever seen that happen again. So Janela bounced off the ropes and hit the referee from behind. We talked about it on pre. Oh God, Jessica Carr is bleeding bad. We had mentioned before on the stream that it's really rare in Fire Pro to have a disqualification finish, as evidenced by Janela kicking Desperado in the balls right there in front of Jessica Carr. So ref bumps are just kind of pointless in this because, because there's some, nobody's going to cheat. There's already been a chair involved in the match. You can see it at ringside. There's a chair in our opener too. We had a 48.5-minute match back in round 1 between Nick Gage and Brett Eisen. It was not a no DQ match where they were hitting each other with light tubes and forks and barbed wire bats and chairs and tables, and they just kept going. No DQ there. So if they're not going to call a DQ on that, they're definitely not going to on a ref bump. Senton Atomiko from Janela now pulls Desperado to his feet, only to be just sent to the floor. I think it is. I think it's just part of like the GCW onboarding process. Again, here's your cubicle mate, Nick. I stab. There was a lot of that. A lot of blood in that one. I think, that whole episode is available on our YouTube channel. So definitely check that out if you've got a strong digital stomach, because those two went to war. It's the 9th match on that show. Springboard crossbody to the floor by Donnie Janela. Go behind. Just going to eat an elbow from Desperado, who, rather than doing a dive of his own, Janela just grabs another chair. Here we go, closing in on the 18-minute mark. Oh, just swinging the chair like a baseball bat, takes Desperado down. And another one. Jessica Carr just kind of all up in their business. Might have disqualified him if she got into 5 on that count. Samoan driver, and the dual shock has been disconnected. Oh, the humanity. Yeah, I forgot it does that at the 18-minute mark because I've been charging it for the first 2 matches of the show. And we've got a double down collision. Both men down. Jessica Carr is standing, bleeding profusely from her forehead. We're going for another vertebreaker. We are. Drops him right on his head and neck. 1, 2, 3. That does it. El Desperado is moving on to the round of 64 and a showdown with either Masaaki Mochizuki or Miro. So, not exactly a great a great feat to have won this match because he's in some trouble in the next round, as anyone would be. A reverse gory special driver is what Fire Pro is calling that finish. We all know it's a vertebreaker. I'm putting it in the spreadsheet as vertebreaker because it's a vertebreaker. You're not fooling me, Fire Pro. I remember Sugar Shane Helms. He gaslight me into calling it a reverse gory special driver. Another 99% quality match. We haven't had 100% quality in a couple weeks. But that all may change. Had 3 very good matches so far. 96, 99, 99. But now Donnie Janela, number 486, is out. The second lowest seed remaining in the tournament. And now we have a battle of 2 wrestlers who were both in WWE when the list came out. One of them still is. The other has gone back to the European Indies. I am, of course, referring to the former Tioman, a.k.a. Lucky Kid, a.k.a. Matehan? Admittedly, I have no idea how to pronounce his actual name. So I will probably fluctuate between his various gimmicks throughout the course of this match, and just keep my fingers crossed that it's a short one and that he loses. Not that I'm actively pulling against him. I'm just hoping I don't have to try to pronounce that name many times. I know my limitations, and that is one of them. The winner of this match will face the winner between Jon Moxley and Nikki Knuckles later on in this episode. Again, folks, starting next week, the tournament that started with 500 wrestlers will be down to 32. The 3 weeks remain after this episode before we crown the first ever World Simulated Champion. There is Matehan / Lucky Kid / Tioman. He upset Tom Lawler back in round 1, and then O'Shea Edwards in round 2. He was the 5th lowest seed remaining. He's now 4th now that Donnie Janela is out. And he's in there against Mr. 24/7, Kofi Kingston, who beat Sydney Steele in round 1, and then Dante Martin in round 2. Let's see. Oh, I didn't mention any of the promotional stats when we just had the New Japan guys. But WWE has gone 65-59 in this tournament, which is the second worst record among the 4 promotions with at least 50 matches. There are only 4 WWE wrestlers remaining, which is, that's still tied for 3rd most among all promotions, considering there's only 44 wrestlers left. Karrion Kross and Jey Uso have both already qualified for the round of 32. We will still see Johnny Gargano will be in action later on tonight. He is the 4th. So yeah, let me see while this is happening if I can find. So New Japan has gone before tonight. They're 2-0 tonight. Yeah. Now they're 50-51. Still the worst record among promotions with at least 50 matches. There are 5 New Japan wrestlers remaining, which is second most among all promotions. Kota Ibushi, Will Ospreay, and Shingo Takagi have all advanced to the round of 32. And we know Yuji Nagata and El Desperado are also still in the running, having won their third round matches. We will see if they can continue to win later on tonight. So, Lucky Kid eats a drop kick there from Kofi. We had some drop kick practice in class this week that, went about as well as you would expect the first time a bunch of guys, in wrestling training doing drop kicks for the first time went. You can see some clips of it on today's episode of The Academy, which is FXC Wrestling's new reality show. I say new, it's been out for 5 weeks now, where every week we focus on a couple of students and just kind of do a behind-the-scenes thing, showing how training is going. We do interviews with the wrestlers, with the trainers, with the creative team. I am going to be the play-by-play announcer when we start doing live shows, probably early next year. I'm also on the creative team, and I am working on some non-scripted. I mean, the reality show isn't scripted, but non-wrestling. No, it's still wrestling related. Non-in-ring related content for the social media pages, including some games that I think will translate well for YouTube and possibly TikTok and possibly Twitch. We may do some live at some point. But the YouTube show has been going really well. Got a really strong response from it. Small package there. 1, 2. Our technical director, Brad Owens, aka Stripe, starting to get some attention from people in the industry, and making me a little nervous that he might get snatched up before he can direct an episode of our TV. But we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Not gonna lie, I'm hoping I get snatched up before then. But that's why I keep getting my reps in here each and every Sunday night, 7:30, calling the simulated action here on Pro Wrestling Simulated. 2 count as Lucky Kid kicks out. Drop toe hold. Saw that episode of Heels. I know the reference to the show, but I don't know the reference within the show. Which, what's the episode deal? Is the somebody getting signed away, or small package again from Lucky Kid? 1, 2. I really should watch Heels, shouldn't I? That feels like something that somebody in the industry should be into. 2. Nope, the drop kick to the knee, not going to be enough. I know you're lucky, kid, but you're not that lucky, kid. Kofi now off the ropes. Jumping DDT. Forearm to the face. And another forearm to the face. And another drop kick to the knee. Trying to keep Kofi grounded, which is, in honesty, good strategy. Tilt-a-whirl arm break, and then he goes after the other arm for the crossface. That's fine. That's good psychology, right? I guess the promotion's about to get signed up. North they did a screw job, Sabotage. Oh! Huh. Okay. Well, that's... I wonder where they got that idea. Yeah, I hope that doesn't happen to me if I, get signed somewhere. I do, full disclosure, my the head trainer and the owner of FXC, one of his former students, was a wrestler before being told by Dusty Rhodes, "Have you ever tried being a commentator?" And that was Byron Saxton, who is now no longer a commentator on Raw, but is doing interviews still. So I have a connection with Byron Saxton. Haven't actually met him yet, but he is supposedly coming up soon, maybe, to put in some time with us. I don't know. That's all up in the air. As I imagine a lot of things are in his life at the moment with his recent career change. But, I'm just trying to do my best and, hopefully get signed and make lots of money. Small package. The last part was tongue-in-cheek. Although lots of money would be nice. I do have a lot of debt. And I'm 40, and I should have a real job by this point. Of course, I don't know. Is pro wrestling commentator a real job? I mean, I'm not like sitting at a desk. It just seems too fun. It seems like exactly what 14-year-old me would dream of. So the fact that it might be possible at age 40 is insane. We're going for the... I sort of did the boom drop. He just didn't boom first. So I guess that was just the drop. Go behind out of the suplex. Shoots him in. Ooh, big back elbow. Almost a reverse clothesline and another drop. Sent into the corner now by Mateon, Teoman, Lucky Kid. Sets him up on the top rope. We're going to get our second superplex of the night. We are. It doesn't go all the way up, so not a, super duper plex. Sends him off. That was dumb because he is not faster than Kofi because Kofi catches up, and then they have a blow spot. Kick to the head from Lucky Kid, back to his feet. Drop toe holds from Kofi. Small package. 1, 2. Wow, that would have been an upset. Kofi at number 70, Lucky Kid at 454. 2. Another kick out. Kid, you're gonna have to do more offense than just those small packages. I guess you might catch Kofi not paying attention at some point, but you probably ought to hurt him a little bit before you try for another pinning combo. That was sort of a wraparound enziguri there from Kofi. No. Oh, flying DDT off the top rope. Past the 16-minute mark off the ropes again. The boomless boom drop. Oh, big pump kick to the face from Lucky Kid. And he comes off the ropes in a double stomp. SOS. 1, 2. Kick out by Lucky Kid. Knee to the midsection. And a DDT. Lots of DDTs in this match, too. Go behind. Dragon suplex into the pin. 1, 2, 3. Lucky Kid gets lucky again, eliminating Kofi Kingston in round 3. Well, this tournament, man, I tell you, just so bizarre. Number 454 eliminates number 70. Kofi Kingston is out. That also got our lowest rating of the night at 88%. 17 minutes, 15 seconds was your time. Pehan advances. He, as mentioned, will face the winner between Jon Moxley and Mickey Knuckles, which, as luck would have it, is next. Mickey Knuckles is actually the last non-male performer remaining in the tournament. You may have seen Mickey during her run in TNA a few years ago, where I think this was during the during the reign of Russo, because Mickey Knuckles was going by the name Moose. Yeah, let you figure that one out yourself. Of course, then they wound up getting a different Moose in Quinn Ojanaka, who has been, one of their top stars for several years now. But yeah, that just, goes to show that was what she had to put up with when she was in Impact. So probably better off on the Indies. Where she is probably not better off is in this match, because she has her hands full with the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. No interim, no temporary, the real deal. Jon Moxley. That's where I'm going to put it. Yes, Russo, everything you do is awful. Your best work, you had a filter. And even then, everybody fondly remembers the Attitude Era. Go back and watch some of those shows. They are painful to sit through. They're There's 3 or 4 good segments and then a whole bunch of crap. Mickey upset Ethan Page back in round 1, and then Calvin Tankman in round 2. She's in there, of course, with Jon Moxley, the number 6 overall seed in our tournament, the second highest seed remaining behind Kota Ibushi. He had a first round bye, being such a high seed, and then he beat PB Smooth in round 2. AEW has gone 75-64 in the tournament, which is the best record among all promotions with at least 40 matches. Also, the 75 wins, 64 losses, and 139 matches are all the most among all promotions. And there are 8 AEW wrestlers remaining, which is also most. Chris Jericho, Powerhouse Hobbs, Matt Jackson, Frankie Kazarian, Luchasaurus, and Darius Martin have all already qualified for the round of 32. That just leaves Moxley, and as we mentioned earlier, Miro will be in action in this episode, trying to claim a spot in that round as well. This is also not the first time these two have shared a ring together. They were both in a battle royal together that neither of them won, and they have actually teamed once before in a trios match. It was the two of them and Sami Callihan defeating Devin Mason and Neil Diamond Cutter at an IWA Mid-South show back in 2009. Yes, folks, this show, very extensively researched, and I still get caught off guard sometimes by stuff that happens. So, Mickey Knuckles, who is missing part of her face for some reason, might have to fix that. I don't remember that being a thing in earlier rounds. It's a clubbing blow to the back of the head for Moxley. That just shows how hardcore Mickey Knuckles is. She's wrestling with only part of her face. I mean, you shouldn't be wrestling with any of your face, but what I mean is she's in the ring and she only has part of her face. I'm hoping that was clear, but I'm clarifying just in case it wasn't. You should not wrestle with your face, folks. That's a good way to get hurt. For a vertical suplex. No, I'm just going to hold him up there for a second. Mickey Knuckles hailing from the right side of Whiskey Row from Clarksville, Indiana, which is literally right down the road from where my parents grew up in Jeffersonville. That's right. Yeah, I also thought, Sabu, athletic taping his bicep together in the middle of that barbed wire match with Terry Funk. Hold on, we got a fork. The referee started counting on the fork strikes. Didn't manage to break the skin, though. Jon Moxley not bleeding. But yeah, you're right. It takes a real tough. I was gonna say real tough man, but Mickey, not a man. A real tough wrestler to wrestle with only part of their face. Charging into the corner, big forearm. And a DDT. Mickey definitely holding her own so far. And a DDT for Mox. We'll just trade those back and forth. And out of the top rope goes Moxley, dropping an elbow. Dragging her out of the corner. Just raining down fists. Shades of his mentor William Regal there with just that mounted strike. Now Mickey back to the top rope. Snap moonsault. Got a lot of distance on that for being a relatively low rotation. Only got 2. Might get more off the DDT as we pass the 7-minute mark. Another moonsault, Lita style, but slightly less sloppy. Elbow to the back of the spine. Which I imagine I could do it, but no, I couldn't. I'm not even going to finish that sentence. Austin. Yeah. It's some of that too. There's Deborah, notorious for having her entire face, and also baking disgusting cookies, but that's an entirely different thing. Oh, Mickey's got the fork again. Stabbing. There we go. Now we've got some juice. No blading necessary here at PWS. The forks don't get you, the half a table will. Moxley just leaving a puddle of blood on the mat. We might have a count out here. Oh, he barely rolls back in. That would have been... What are you doing? that would have been the 5th count-out finish of the tournament. This is episode 44. We've had 460 matches thus far, and only 4 of them have ended in countouts. So that was very nearly number 5. Moxley again. I guess we could call that Austining to go with Andy's comment there. Moonsault, kick out. It's really unsettling when she turns her head because it's like where her ears should be, there's just no face. Now off the ropes, tilt-a-whirl DDT. A little Rick Rude pelvic sorcery there. Oh, very nice moonsault. Should have been throwing that the whole time. Uh-oh, Dirty Deeds! Hooks the leg, 1, 2, 2.9. And I'm sorry, it's the paradigm shift now. Either way, it was not enough. The paradigm shift, Mickey kicks out. We're past 11 and a half minutes now. Moxley with another low stomp and another DDT from Mickey. Back to the top rope. What's she going for now? Top rope Huracan Rana. 1, 2, 3. Mickey Knuckles has beat Jon Moxley. Wow. Okay. So now the number 6 overall seed is out in the round of 128. Number 390, Mickey Knuckles, picks up the win. I definitely didn't see that coming. Although, given the way this tournament has gone, I maybe should have. 12 minutes and 5 seconds. Mickey Knuckles has upset Jon Moxley. So now we know it will be Mickey Knuckles one-on-one against Metehan later on in this episode. Or Metehan? Meathan? I don't think it's Meathan. That doesn't sound right at all. It might be Meathan. I don't know. I don't speak German. Weirdos have a different word for everything. No one who speaks German could be an evil man. Yep, there we go. We've now come full circle on that. Alright, Masaaki Mochizuki. It's just a fun-ass name to say. Masaaki Mochizuki. It's also fun to say Miro, but not as much fun as Masaaki Mochizuki. Yeah, that does beg an interesting question. Is Mickey, does she have to be a heel for the rest of the tournament? Can someone without a face be a face? These are the things that keep me up at night. The winner of this match is going to face El Desperado later on tonight. Why don't you come to your senses? You've been out right now so long. Here comes Masaaki Mochizuki, the number 347 seed in our tournament. He beat Arez back in round 1. And then Shay McCoy in round 2. He is 1/3 of the Open Triangle Gate champions in Dragon Gate. Dragon Gate has not done so hot in this tournament. They've gone 5-7, which is the 4th worst record among promotions with at least 10 matches. And Mochizuki is the last Dragon Gate wrestler remaining in the tournament. So he is single-handedly keeping that promotion's hopes alive. Easy enough for me to say. Miro, the Redeemer, defeated Vinny Pacifico back in round 1. And then Dak Draper in round 2. That match against Draper was the last time we had a count-out. That was back in episode 36. 7 minutes, 4 seconds makes it the second shortest match of the tournament. And because Fire Pro does not like short matches, it was also the 10th lowest rated match at 74%. Again, the winner of this match will face El Desperado coming up after the intermission. We do have 2 more third round matches coming up after this. and then we will take that break and come back with those final 4 matches. Just in the middle of making sure that is all scheduled properly. So far, so good. Big belly-to-belly overhead suplex. This one might not last long. Miro, mentioned, won the second shortest match of the tournament, or second shortest match of the tournament. Maybe trying to break his own record here against Masaaki Mochizuki. We'll see. Mochizuki hanging in there so far. So think of it this way. Of the 5 wrestlers that have thus far advanced to the round of 64, the highest seed remaining of those 4 is Mickey Knuckles at number 390. We could conceivably have 2 more wrestlers in the 450s in that round. I say 2 more because among the wrestlers who have already qualified for the round of 32, we've got number 496 Antonio Honda, number 480 Don't Die Miles, number 449 Hartley Jackson, and number 419 Arrow Boy. So, like I said, lots of upsets in this tournament. Big kick to the kidneys there from Mochizuki. He's going behind, but Miro catches him and slams him down hard. I thought he might have been ready to put him in the accolade, but single leg trip rolls him over. I don't know what the strategy is here. Oh, he was going for the Machka kick, or I'm not sure honestly what he calls it now. It was the Machka kick when he was in WWE. Another big kick from Mochizuki. Coming off the ropes, PK to the chest. And Miro just has had enough of that big belly-to-belly overhead throw. I get sent to the floor. Miro, we know, could work on the floor. He did win a match by count out earlier in the tournament. Knees to the midsection there for Mochizuki, now dragging Miro onto the logo. Miro elbows him in the face for his trouble. Swings and misses on the spinning heel kick and eats that was almost more of a knee to the face than a PK. 2 and a kick out. And there's that spinning heel kick right across the back of the head of Mochizuki. Sent into the corner. Mochizuki hanging in from the tree of whoa. Just light kicks to the forearm. That's an odd choice. Alabama slam from Miro. I don't know any quattro-syllabic towns in Bulgaria, or I would have called it that. So we're going to stick with Alabama. That suplex sends Mochizuki to the floor, and Miro going right out after him. So in our last match, we got up to a 19 count before. There's the accolade on the floor, as we established last week, making it that much more devastating. Suzuki does not go. Oh no! Oh no! Somebody get in the ring. Okay. Well. Yeah. So, here's the deal, folks. I've not really thought through what would happen in the case of a draw. If I'm going by typical tournament logic, we would just have El Desperado get a bye into the 5th round. That's an option. We could also do an immediate rematch. Just have the two of them face off again right away. Or we could do a 3-way later on with these two and Desperado. Part of me, as a fan of chaos, that's kind of the way I'm leaning as well. Yeah, I think a three-way is going to be the way to go. That seems the most fair. If anybody else wants to pipe into the chat and cast their vote, I will we'll officially make our decision once we come back from break. But I'm leaning that way as well. That seems like the most fun version of how to go forward with that. So yeah, that one was real short. Let's see. I need a new color coding system here because I've just been using green for winners and red for losers. I guess blue if you're in a draw. So yeah, now that we've had a moment to recover from that, it's time for All Impact all the time here on the 500. We of our final 2 third-round matches, 3 of the 4 wrestlers are from Impact Wrestling, and in this first match, both wrestlers are. Which does mean that we will be using an Impact referee, which is, not surprisingly, Brian Hebner. The match is between Laredo Kid, who we saw earlier, who we saw last night watching Triple Mania, and Josh Alexander, the Impact World Champion. And I'm still a little... what is it the kids are saying these days? Shooketh over that last result. Very short double count out between Miro and Mochizuki. But here comes the Impact World Champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander. He defeated Hijo de Canis Lupus back in the first round, and then Drew Gulak in round 2. Both of those matches were 100% quality, and he is one of only 2 wrestlers to have done that in the first 2 rounds, win 2 100% quality matches. Impact has gone 28-25, which is the second best record among promotions with at least 50 matches. And there are 4 Impact wrestlers remaining, as I mentioned, 2 of them in this match, 1 in the next. And Rich Swann has already qualified for the round of 32. His opponent is Laredo Kid, who defeated Freddie Hudson in round 1, and then Kez Evans in... Oh, nope, I'm sorry. I'm reading Johnny Gargano's bio. Laredo Kid beat Ryan Nemeth, and then Valiente. He is, or was, the 9th highest seed remaining. He's now 8th, now that Moxley is out. And these 2 have met once before in a... actually, stand by. Twice before, actually. Once in a singles, once in a trios, and Alexander has won both of them. So we will see if... Nope, I take that back. Laredo Kid won both of them. So we'll see if Alexander can turn that luck around here against Laredo Kid. Laredo Kid, the number 22 seed, in there with number 107, Josh Alexander. This match is what we in the biz like to call chalk, meaning these were the 2 seeds that were supposed to advance to this part of the bracket. The more I think about it, the more I like the idea of Miro versus Desperado versus Mochizuki. I think that's going to be fun. It is going to require just a complete change of... Basically, I'm going to have to really tweak what I've got going on the spreadsheet here, but you know what? It's good television, right? Right? Alexander, if you guys have not been paying attention to Josh Alexander, one of the best technicians in the world, formerly God bless the mute button when you got a fart. Josh Alexander, formerly one half of the North, a Canadian tag team with Ethan Page, goes right into the ankle lock. Ebner checking on Laredo Kid there. But then once Page got signed by AEW, Alexander struck out on his own, won the X Division title, used Option C, or Option 3, I can't remember, I think it's Option C, which is basically their version of Money in the Bank, where if you're the X Division champion, you can cash it in for a world title shot. We just saw that happen with Frankie Kazarian at Bound for Glory, when he beat Speedball Mike Bailey to win the title, and then immediately gave the title up to challenge Alexander for the world title. Big powerbomb. Laredo Kid was going for a Frankensteiner. That was kind of the reverse of the never powerbomb Billy Kidman. Instead, it's never try a Rana on Josh Alexander. Alexander kicks out of the moonsault attempt from Laredo. Alexander walking him out onto the logo, elbow to the spine, back into the ankle lock. Hebner again checking on Laredo. Far too early in the match to get the finish there. Of course, I say that last match was very short. I didn't get an official time on it. I will. What would happen if Kidman tried a Rana on Josh Alexander? I have to assume they would somehow unmake all of existence. That might be what causes the singularity. And Zagiri from Laredo Kid, I think we can just, only count our blessings that Kidman is retired, and we will likely never see what happens should those two, never the twain shall meet. Oh, I don't know what Kid was going for there, but it probably wasn't getting punched in the face and then kind of in the dick. Diving head, heel hook with the leg grapevine from Alexander. Kid manages to escape. Just plowed over by Josh Alexander. Alexander catching his breath. Probably a wise move rather than expect. Again, goes for the Rana. Gets spiked, 2, and kicks out. Away from the ropes. For a suplex now? Indeed, and Alexander goes tumbling to the floor. This would probably be a good time for a dive from the Lucha Star, but he decides to just catch his breath instead, which also wise. Another powerbomb? No, long blower. That'll clear out your sinuses and destroy your spine all at the same time. Your spinuses? Ankle lock there from Alexander. Laredo Kid escapes. Fireman carry takeover. Not quite an attitude adjustment because he was, not standing up. Back into that heel hook. Kid gets out of it. Leg trip from Alexander. Kick to the face from Laredo Kid. They'll stop to catch their breath. And a snap Rana from Laredo Kid. Punch to the midsection from Alexander. Scoop. Yeah, slam. Yes. You need more than just your attitude adjusted when that happens. A Mahistral cradle there by Laredo Kid, wound up in the ropes. Heel hook there from Alexander. It's probably good we don't have the audio from the game, because this entire match would just be give up, and no, nobody gives up yet. Drop kick to the face from Laredo Kid. Alexander with a swing and a miss on the clothesline. Sends Kid into the corner. Gonna put him up on top, going for another superplex. No, Laredo Kid. Sunset bomb. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Laredo Kid, the number 22 seed in the tournament, advances. He will face... what did we decide earlier? He will face, the winner of our next match. Congrats to Laredo Kid, number 22. Moving on to the round of 32. Like you're supposed to. Laredo Kid. By the powerbomb reversal, die by the powerbomb reversal. Indeed. Indeed. Anybody with a powerbomb reversal and a... What was the crap that they used to say about James Ellsworth? Anybody with two hands and a something has a chance. I just can't remember what the something was. And if that wasn't a Vince idea, I don't know what was. Hey, what if we take this guy who is objectively one of the ugliest people on the planet, skinny, very little in-ring skill, and we put him over a bunch. Two hands and no chin, yes. Accurate. Very accurate. And then, what if, on top of that, we put him with Carmella? Because you get it? She is very conventionally attractive, and he is not. It's hilarious, pal. Such good shit. Yeah. Not to... Well, no. I was going to say not to wish ill on someone, but yeah, I mean, if there's anybody you can wish ill on, it's, you know, the billionaire in legal trouble for sexual harassment, and using company funds to cover it up. So good riddance. Now it is time for our pre-intermission main event, which is not the overall main event because we still have 4 more matches to go after we take our intermission. But I have been talking nonstop for an hour and 17 minutes. So after this match, I'm going to get up, stretch my legs, drink some water, and then we'll come back to this and find out who's going to claim those last 4 spots in the round of 32. And then we'll have a very brief preview of the round of 32. I'll run through the matches for next week's show, and then bid you all for adieu at that point. But first, here comes Eddie Edwards from Boston. He defeated Kevin Blackwood in round 1 and Danhausen in round 2. Yeah, don't really have any interesting stats beyond that for his run through the tournament. Gargano, on the other hand, number 43 seed in the tournament, defeated Freddie Hudson in round 1 and Kez Evans in round 2. This is actually the 4th time Johnny Gargano and Eddie Edwards have met in the ring. And Edwards has won all 3 of them, 2 singles matches and a tag match. So, Gargano hoping to end that streak here with a win over Eddie Edwards. So we know that whoever wins that match against Laredo Kid is going to be the main event. Just because the way the seeds work out. Right? Yeah. So of the top 50 seeds, there are only... Well, there were 13 remaining until Mox lost. But Miro is still in it, thanks to that double count out. And Laredo Kid won. So, but yeah, of the top 50, only 14. Sorry, no, 12 remain. So yeah, not a great sign for old Johnny Wrestling. But Eddie Edwards is 86, which is still, pretty high. It would be the 15th highest seed at number 86. Lots and lots and lots of upsets. Elbow to the spine from Gargano. Setting up the bracket for the next round, because I shouldn't be jinxing this, but I firmly suspect this match will go a while. So I don't think I'm going to damage anything by real quick setting up. Schedule. Versus Desperado. this. Yes. Yes. What'd I miss? Nothing? Okay. Back to distracted. They left the door wide open for you to be disruptive and nothing. Fair. That's yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Ooh, man, spikes him with a pile driver. Boston Crab, or where Eddie's from, just, crab. Shining Wizard right in the face. Chris Jericho. It's just the Wizard. DDT from Johnny Wrestling. How good is it to have Johnny Gargano back, right? I have to bite my tongue every week to not make references to, oh, this is just like, oh no, it's not a thing that actually happened, and only a handful of people would get that. Yeah, man, those are the days, huh? And to be that young and dumb again. Leg trip by Gargano. Takes a big chop to the chest from Eddie. American Wolf sends him off. Roaring elbow. Couldn't commit to either roaring or rolling, so I think I wound up saying roarling. He was going for a tiger driver, but Gargano backdropped out of it. Edwards, oh my god, brainbuster. Gargano back to his feet, as though he has no brain to bust. Not coming off the ropes. Shotgun dropkick to the face. Enziguri there from Edwards, both men down. 10.5-minute mark. Fireman's carry into a suplex. That's an unusual move from Eddie Edwards. 1, 2. Gargano kicks out. And Edwards gets him up for another brainbuster. 1, 2. Kick out by Gargano. Exchanging chops. Woo, 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 woo. Gargano drags him away from the ropes. I thought he might have been getting ready to set him up for the Gargano escape, but no such luck. An arm drag from the American Wolf, Eddie Edwards, pulling Johnny Wrestling to his feet and gets punched in the gut. Big variation on the clothesline. It was like a sling blade, but without the sling. It's just a blade. That means something entirely different. Another brainbuster from Edwards. Goes for the pin, does not hook a leg, and he's in the ropes anyway, so that was silly. Another blade from Gargano, now to the top rope. Big DDT from the top. Into the Gargano escape. Too close to the ropes, says referee Derek Moore. Another brain buster from Edwards. And another pin without hooking the leg. 1, 2. Gargano kicks out again as we pass the 14-minute mark here. Off the ropes goes Gargano. Thrust kick to the face. And a chop to the chest. And another thrust kick. Who was it that did that move earlier that thoroughly confused me? There we go. Gargano escape again, but Edwards manages to get a foot under the ropes. And veteran instinct from Eddie Edwards. 38 years old, 20-year pro. Training of Killer Kowalski, Yoshinari Ogawa, and Tamon Honda. 2.9. Gargano also been around the block a few times. 35 years old, 17-year pro. Trained by JT Lightning and Josh Prohibition, which is one of my favorite indie names. I do love me some Josh Prohibition. Back into the Gargano escape, right in the middle of the ring. Can he get to the ropes? Doesn't need to. There apparently is. That was the Gargano escape. Suplex off the shoulders again from Edwards, and again just punched in the gut. Wraparound Enziguri. Hit it. Oh, and a kneeling super kick. Edwards whiffs on the suplex. Does not whiff on the Tiger Bomb. Leg lock there. Gargano dragging himself toward the ropes. The forearms to the face from Gargano. Off the ropes. Huracan Rana. 1, 2, 3. That does it. Yes, Gargano Escape is a terrible name for finisher. It is. It's super indie, and I mean it's a great move, but it's a dumb name. Dumb name. Such God, what a stupid name. Johnny Gargano, the number 43 seed. Hey, look at that. The two highest seeds in that part of the bracket, 22 and 43, both advance. A chalk party here. Going into round number 4. Eddie Edwards, the number 86 seed. That's our first 100% quality match of the night. Congrats, boys. We now know it is not Eddie Edwards. We just saw him lose. Laredo Kid against Johnny Gargano. All right, so we're going to take a break here in just a second. When we come back, Yuji Nagata against Biff Busick. Mickey Knuckles against Matehan. The first ever three-way in PWS history as Miro takes on El Desperado and Masaaki Mochizuki. And then in our main event, we just saw Johnny wrestling, Johnny Gargano. He will face Laredo Kid. The winners of those 4 matches will all advance to the round of 32. Folks, we've still got 4 big matches to come. Don't go anywhere, but I'm gonna take 5 quick minutes, and we will be right back. Oh, hold on. Stand by. show. I don't know who composed it or where my old co-host Mike San Gregorio got him from, but it's all really good. I dig it. Here comes Biff Busick out for his second match of the night. We saw him earlier in our opener. He's the number 459 seed. He beat Zachary Wentz with a roll-up. 15 minutes, 54 seconds was the time on that one. His opponent is the number 395 seed, who beat Adam Priest in our second match tonight. 99% quality in 21 minutes, 57 seconds there. So this one should be fun. Folks, I am still very excited about that three-way. I will also admit to being a little trepidatious, as I have never set up a three-way in Fire Pro before. I think I know how to do it, but we'll find out. So that's Biff Busick in the blue. Biff Busick in the blue knee. Biff Busick's the white guy, and Yuji Nagata is the one that is not. And he is also the one that was on his back there for a second. Both men up. Nagata with a forearm. These two are probably going to stiff the hell out of each other. So if you like that kind of wrestling, you're gonna love Biff Busick against Yuji Nagata. Busick, I mentioned 36 years old, 14-year pro, training of Mike Hollow, Lance Storm, and Funaki. Nagata, 54 years old, a 30-year pro, trained by the legendary Hiroshi Hase, Kensuke Sasaki, and Kazuo Yamazaki. Don't mind me. Finishing off my Dr. Pepper dinner. It's so watered down it's hard to tell now. But Pat Dooley does not waste a buck. Sent off the ropes now. Nagata waiting for him to come in and gets kneed in the midsection for it. A half crab there from Busick. Nagata gets out of it easily. Referee, of course, is Charles Robinson, Little Nate. A little history with both men. He was a referee in WCW when Nagata was there. He was a referee in WWE when Busick was there. But neither of them are in WWE currently. So Robinson is officiating this match as an impartial third party. Trading blows here. Forearms from Nagata, European uppercuts from Busick. And Nagata gets the best of it. Now coming off the ropes. Just a running stomp. Okay, that's weird. Busick with an elbow to the back of the neck and then a stomp. Well, yeah, I can stomp too, buddy. Nagata with a spinning heel kick. Nagata wrestling at the speed of a man half his age. Another elbow to the spine. Working over the knee, possibly. Oh, heel hook there. I thought he might have been getting set up for Nagata lock too, but Busick with a sleeper. A big European uppercut. Back into the half crab. Again, Busick from Boston, so for him it's just a crab. Nagata now with the arm bar. Studying tape, clearly watching his Chris Jericho. Right back at the shoulder breaker and then right back into the armbar. Great strategy from the veteran. Now sends him off the ropes. A shoulder block. Running in. Senton. The folks over at New Legacy Inc. would call that a big boy senton, but Busick's not that big. He's a medium boy senton. Big chops in the corner. Woo, 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 woo. Nagata to his feet. Circling together for a second. Another big European uppercut. Now dragging Nagata out of the corner. Figure four. Woo. Again. Nagata manages to escape. Sends him off the ropes. Deep arm drag. Dragging him out onto the logo now and stomps on his face. That was mean. Forearm from Nagata, scoop, and a slam. And a kick to the spine. I thought he was going for a spine buster, instead turns it into a Manhattan drop and then a choke with his legs. Yeah, I mean that's not a bad theory. I was gonna say he'd be better off if it was Hebner, but Hebner only does that for sharpshooters. Oh, Busick is busted open now. And and seems to be enraged by it. A big knee to the midsection, and now a gut-wrench suplex. Made me bleed my own blood. A bit of the spine from Busick. Fortunately, his tights are representing the American Red Cross. Sent into the corner there by Nagata, who charges in. Nobody's home. Everybody out of the water. Speaking of references, only 6 people will get. Busick drags Nagata out of the corner. Spinning back kick. That's very much not a move you see from him often, but that exploder from Nagata is. And an implant DDT. That's the move he used to beat Adam Priest earlier. Lateral press 1, 2.9. A bloody Biff Busick kicks out. Ropes again with a big kick to the face. Nagata back onto the logo, back into the half crab. Old Mage checking on him. Every time Busick's head hits the mat, he's just leaving bloodstains. Like a, smooth criminal. But can we talk about the fact that the criminal and smooth criminal, not that smooth, he's leaving bloodstains and all that? Just, really sloppy criminal work. I mean, he still struck Annie, but not a smooth criminal at all. They're just exchanging exploders now. It's like an early Audio Slave album in there. Jumping European uppercut from Busick, now off the ropes into another exploder. It's Explodapalooza here at PWS. Off the ropes. Overhead belly to belly. Yes, we salute you as well, Mr. Nagata-san. Now off the ropes. Spinning heel kick right on the jaw, but Busick pops right to his feet. That's a European uppercut. Nagata with a forearm. Back to a striking exchange here. Rolling elbow from Busick. We reach the 13-minute mark here since they got into the corner. I don't know. I feel like that's one of those things, like, he had that thought in his, like, that lyric popped in his head, and he's like, I need to work this into a song, not thinking about the fact that it sounds cool but means nothing. Which, Michael kind of did that a lot. 2.9. There is no sound of a crescendo. A crescendo is a sound itself. That'd be like, the sound of an amplitude or sound of a timbre. 1, 2, 3. Unorthodox pinning combo from Nagata is enough to get the win. And number 395, Blue Justice, Yuji Nagata. Sound of an automatopoeia. almost 44 full episodes in, and I haven't done a single match with Batman sound effects. And now I realize how much of my life I have wasted by not doing that. Having onomatopoeic sound effects pop up on the screen with each punch or kick. Maybe I'll bust that out for the 150 when we start the women's tournament, which I think is going to be next. That probably won't start until... That's fair. We did do 4 matches with them. Biff has been... and we were talking about Bam earlier. That's another one. Matehan. No, that's not the other one. But he is next. So we just saw the number 395 seed advance to the round of 32. He will face the winner between Laredo Kid and Johnny Gargano in 2 weeks in that round of 32. We'll have another. This is actually going to be an indie match. That's the number 454 seed Matehan, who earlier on tonight we saw beat Kofi Kingston. He will take on number 390, Mickey Knuckles, who earlier tonight we saw beat Jon Moxley. So we've got the number 395 seed through to the round of 32. We're about to have either 390 or 454 get through. So, further proving my theory, the Germans love David Hasselhoff. Wait, no. Proving my theory that this tournament is really freaking weird. There's a reference to the old timers weekend. Remember when Norm Macdonald used to host Weekend Update? Those were the days. But yes, here comes Matehan. As I mentioned, the winner of this will move on to the round of 32. Their opponent will be determined later on tonight in the first ever three-way match in the history of the 500. Matehan did beat Kofi Kingston, 17 minutes, 15 seconds. The Dragon Suplex. His finisher is going to be when his tag team partner OJ Simpson shows up and murders people from all the killing. That's still one of my all-time favorite stories of oh, you know what? Little Nate, you weren't supposed to referee 2 matches in a row. You big silly Billy, get out of there. Get out of there. Go, shoot. Go home, boy. No, we don't want you here anymore. Go on, get. It's not at all that I forgot to change referees between matches. Ta-da! And just like magic, a bad render of Bryce Remsburg, if that is his real name, is now the referee. But anyway, sticking it to the man, Norm Macdonald told repeatedly by NBC to stop doing Old Yeller, come back Yeller. Sorry, Disney, don't sue me. The president of NBC or just some executive was close to OJ and wanted Norm to stop doing OJ jokes, so he kept doing OJ jokes and got fired. And they weren't even good after a while. He was just literally making a point by bringing up OJ in every single episode. And you know what? It was still funny even when the jokes weren't, because Norm was just that good. Mickey Knuckles, the natural heel because she's got no face. This is the joke from Simpsons where Skinner is talking about how he got in an argument with his mother, and so she put cardboard over his half of the TV, and they watched Man Without a Face, and he didn't even know that he had a problem. Except it's not really her face that's the problem. That's not a sentence you say every day. It's more whatever this part of your head is. 450 from Lucky Kid, all up in the ropes. No count from Bryce Remsburg, if that is his real name. Mickey Knuckles off the ropes, shotgun dropkick to the face. Tejan just punching away. And back to the top, another 450, another 450. Still in the ropes. And there's the fork. Oh, he's bleeding much faster than Mox did. Elbow to the spine. Got blood on his back. As our friends over at the Squared Circle Gazette Radio podcast would put it, he's bleeding a gusha. Forearm to the face. That's a terrible British accent. I hang out with Tom Latimer 3 days a week. You would think by now I would have a better British accent. But I don't. Don't know what to call that, but it looks painful. Damn, pulls Mickey Knuckles to her feet and then a big forearm to the face. Huracan Rana by the faceless woman. And no, that was not a Welcome to Night Vale reference. La Magistral Cradle 1 and a kick out. I should say that, shouldn't I? I think I'm going to. Oh man, reverse tarantula there by Mickey Knuckles. Hello there, governor. I'm British. I am. And a sit-out powerbomb there from Tejan, rescuing me from doing a terrible British accent. There's no saving me. It's too late for me. Mickey with a snap moonsault all the way to the center of the ring, down to a surfboard stretch. And a DDT from Tejan. And just a little bit of blood on the mat as a treat. And suplexes are right onto the logo. And DDTs are on the logo. Just really wants her to get a good look at that logo. It's a good logo. Mickey with a scoop and a slam. And a nice moonsault. 1, 2, 0.9. Tejan kicks out. For a step up enziguri, and Mickey just casually moved out of the way, but gets rolled up. 1, 2, 0.9 again. These pins are getting closer and closer now off the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl into that arm drag, and then again goes to the other arm with the crossface. Psychology, psychology, psychology. I think I can actually hear Jerry Lynn having an aneurysm watching that. Moonsault from Mickey. Everybody's all up in the ropes. Backslide. 1, 2, 0.9. Mickey Knuckles barely rolls out of that backslide. Coming off the ropes. Float over DDT. And a standing moonsault. Guess what? In the ropes. Another backslide from Tejan. In the ropes. But in his defense, he's lost a lot of blood. He does not have much blood left in him. He's dying. And Mickey's just dancing. She's just dancing in front of him. I don't even know. I got nothing, folks. German suplex, but Tejan winds up in the ropes. Still bleeding. Pedigree. Can hit that from anywhere. Now to the top rope. There's that Huracan run off the top rope. 2, 3. That does it. Mickey Knuckles, the 390 seed, has moved on to the round of 32. All right. Yeah, Mickey Knuckles, I think, may have surpassed Don't Die Miles as the official wrestler of Pro Wrestling Simulated. Number 390. Knuckles over number 454. 86% quality. Crowd didn't like that very much. You know what? It's the exact same score and the exact same finish as her first round match. But this one was 51 seconds shorter. Don't know what that means, but I like numbers, and I think they're neat. Marge Simpson and potatoes. All right, back out of this, because I think I have to set it up as a battle royal to get more than 2 participants in a match. Otherwise, it tries to turn it into a team match. Stand by. This is the first time I've tried to do this. First win. That's what I want. I believe. Should on the back screen. First wrestler. Yes. Or should this be an elimination 3-way? Both people have to lose. Nah, I feel like that's going to take a long time. Excuse me. There. Okay, so there are no countouts in a 3-way. Oh, they also can't go to the floor. That's lame. Oh, all right. Well, it is what it is. I actually spoke of him earlier. The referee for this match is going to be Earl Hebner. So everybody try to avoid getting caught in a sharpshooter. All right, let's see. So first up is Mochizuki. Taking even more time than it usually does because having to set up an entirely new match type we've never had to do on the show. But you know what? That's fun. After 44 episodes, mix things up a little bit. And I am officially going to have Desperado stuck in my head for the foreseeable future. But you know what? It's a good song. People like to crap on the Eagles. I like them. Here we go. Winner will face Mickey Knuckles in 2 weeks. The number 390 seed. Here we go. Eventually. Wow, it takes longer to load a 3-way match. Oh, we don't even get entrances. Cool. All right, Hebner calls for the bell, and we are off. All right, a little chaos here to start. For those of you that did not see the earlier matches, the Man in the Mask is not the Man in the Mask. That's El Desperado from New Japan Pro Wrestling. The man in the black and gold trunks is Masaaki Mochizuki from Dragon Gate. And the large, hairy European man is Miro from AEW. Yeah, same. I'm the same way. Like, the Eagles seem like one of those bands that it's like, it's cool to dislike, but then, like, you know, you're scrolling through and Life in the Fast Lane comes on and you're like, all right, yeah, this is a bop. Hotel California, yeah, it's too long and the imagery is confusing as hell, but it's a great song. Excuse me. Woo! Apparently allergic to praising the Eagles. Folks, this match is going to be real confusing. I'm going to have a really hard time keeping up with it, so there's probably going to be a lot of talk about nonsense like the Eagles. Desperado, we saw beat Donnie Janela earlier tonight with a vertebreaker. We saw Miro and Masaaki Mochizuki wrestle to a double countdown, which is the first time that's happened in the tournament, and that's why we now have this three-way match to determine who will face Mickey Knuckles in 2 weeks on episode 46, which will be the penultimate episode of this tournament. Next week, we will have another 12 matches. We will narrow down half of the bracket. We'll have of the round of 32. We'll get that down to 8 over the course of the following 2 weeks. And then episode 47 in 3 weeks will be the finale. The quarterfinals, semifinals, finals, and we'll probably throw a couple undercard matches in there too. If Gage gets eliminated next week, I think he's on next week's show. Yeah, if he gets eliminated, then we'll probably do an actual death match between him and Ison as a rematch of arguably the greatest match in the tournament, that 48.5 minute bloodbath from round 1. I would love to see that happen. Oh, Alabama Slam there for Miro. Lots of nobody can really seem to get a move in edgewise because there's just the three guys are all on top of each other because the game won't let any of them leave the ring. Which, I mean, it's nice because that means you're not stuck in a WWE scenario where one guy just rolls to the ring to let the other two wrestle and then comes in to take his turn while another guy rolls out of the ring. Can I express my dissatisfaction with WWE 2K22 for actually making that part of the game where if you're in a three-way match and you take enough damage, you literally roll to the ring, roll to the floor stunned for several seconds. That is a very frustrating way to lose a match, is to be mandated to leave the ring while your opponent hits a finisher and wins the match. But hey, it's realistic. That's how WWE does their three-ways. So I guess in that regard, I shouldn't be upset that nobody can leave the ring in this minute. Oh, Cobra Clutch across the knee. Rope break there for Earl Hebner. Scoop and a gut buster and then a slam from Miro. Now setting Mochizuki off the ropes. I thought he was going to go for the accolade on Desperado. Miro again. That's fair. Although, admittedly, 22, all things considered, is not bad. There are kinks to work out, but it definitely plays better than I think any of the 2K games have. Which, again, not saying much, but it's the best WWE game in a while. And not counting like Supercard and All Stars in the non like mainline games. There is a game that's coming out. I can't remember what it's called, but it looks like it's. You remember the backyard wrestling games from like the early aughts that were just really bad? Somebody is making sort of a spiritual sequel to those, except it's more like indie based. Angels wings from Desperado, and now Mochizuki into the Fujiwara armbar. Desperado's like, no, this is my kill. The ropes, spear. Into the corner by Mochizuki. But anyway, I can't remember what the game is called. Orthodox roll up there by Mochizuki. Desperado doesn't try to break it up. I guess he had faith that Miro would kick out, which is good because he did. But he didn't. Oh, double power bomb from Miro and Mochizuki, who apparently bonded in the time they spent on the floor together in their third round match. Here's a knees to the midsection from Miro. And a belly to belly suplex. Hold him over. I thought he was going for the accolade, but walks right into Angel's wings. Or I guess that's Guitarra de Angel, right? When Desperado does it. Trading forearms back and forth. Mochizuki wins the exchange. That's probably what it is. I don't know. He's got his reasons. Brainbuster. Andy, don't your feet get cold in the wintertime? The sky won't snow and the sun won't shine. It's hard to tell the nighttime from the day. Knees to the midsection there for Miro. Another boot to the midsection. There's the accolade. Hebner checking on Desperado. Oh, he just slaps him in the face. Did you order the code red? 1, 2. And now it's Miro getting lucky because he was woozy. I'll stream Rock Band one night. I'll play guitar and you just furiously type the lyrics as we go. That sounds amazing. Of course, we would get DMCA'd immediately for playing copyrighted music, but Northern Light suplex from Mochizuki. Not entirely sure how you punch somebody in the face when they're bridging into a pin, but you know what? Fire Pro. Desperado now going for Guitarra de Angel. No, Mochizuki backdrops out of it. Now he's going to suplex Miro. Oh, man, Falcon Arrow. Nobody kicks out of the Falcon Arrow. 2. Miro kicks out of the Falcon Arrow. Got another double powerbomb coming up here. Now knees to the midsection. Miro pulling Mochizuki to his feet. Just kicked the air between his opponents, hitting neither of them. Another belly to belly. Nope. Just chopped in the back by Desperado. Now Mochizuki. Victory roll. All up in the ropes. Closing in on the 17-minute mark here. Fast and furious action here. Miro again, not bother. Oh, there you go. He does kick Mochizuki in the ribs. Death Valley driver from El Desperado. Now, oh my god, that was dangerous. Diving headbutt from Miro. Stomping away on Desperado. Mochizuki kicks both Desperado and Miro. Now the Death Valley driver. Miro dragging Mochizuki away from the ropes. Hey, Desperado, let's get this on the logo, huh? Can't have a finish if we're over here. Whatever that stun gun variation is that Desperado keeps doing. Victory roll for Mochizuki. Miro now dragging Desperado into the center of the ring. Just kicks him right on the jaw. Well, at least that cough was productive at some point. Gross. Mochizuki sends Desperado into the corner, now dragging Miro toward the center of the ring. For a vertical suplex. Twisting suplex. Desperado going to get one too? Yes, indeed. He goes tumbling to the floor, which I didn't think was possible in this match. Let's see if he's allowed to re-enter. And the DualShock has been disconnected. Desperado's got a chair. And he returns to the ring. Maybe it just means there's no count out on the floor. That's what that meant. Desperado's got a chair. Working over both men with it. A baseball swing takes Mochizuki down. And one for Miro. They're just rolling Miro across the mat. Kick to the back of the head. And a belly-to-belly on the chair. Drop toe hold for Mochizuki. Into the accolade. And that's it. Earl Hebner calls for the bell. Yes. World's most lenient refs indeed. But he was real quick to call for that bell. You gotta watch out when you're in a submission hold when Earl Hebner's the referee. Miro has advanced to the round of 32. (21 minutes, 18 seconds). The accolade. If I spell it right. Desperado. 2 seed. 47 seed. Fun to type as it is to say, but we now know it's Miro against Mickey Knuckles in 2 weeks. And, you know, there's been enough talk. Time for the main event. Of course, now I have to back out of Battle Royal mode, go back into exhibition normal match. A second. Load times on Fire Pro can be a little brutal. Here we go. Fire Pro, normal match. Yes, that's right. There's been enough talk. But you know what? Is there ever really enough talk? Sometimes it feels like there's just not enough talk. So perhaps what we all need is more talking. Truly, it is time for talk. Talk, talk, talk. Man, we are really digging deep into the SNL back catalog tonight. I love it. Coffee talk. All right. This match should be a hell of a lot of fun. Great way to end the night. Very thoroughly bizarre show tonight. Miro advancing in a very unorthodox way over both El Desperado and Masaaki Mochizuki. Still super fun to say. Bummed he didn't advance. Now here comes Johnny Gargano, who earlier tonight we saw beat Eddie Edwards. It was a 100% quality match. Let's see if he can repeat that in our main event. Aubrey Edwards is the referee. This is an interpromotional match between WWE and Impact. So obviously we'll go for a third-party referee from AEW. Laredo Kid beat Josh Alexander. Surprisingly, only got a 79% quality for a 12.5-minute match with that sunset bomb off the top rope. Here we go. There's the bell. And we are underway in our main event. 31 wrestlers, 30 men and 1 woman, have advanced to the round of 32. Don't Die Miles, Antonio Honda, Karrion Kross, Hartley Jackson, Konosuke Takeshita, Willie Mack, Shingo Takagi, Frankie Kazarian, Powerhouse Hobbs, Jey Uso, Matt Jackson, Nick Gage, Luchasaurus, Ricky Shane Page, Leon Ruffin, Kota Ibushi, Balian Aki, Jacob Fatu, Suwama, Naomichi Marufuji, Darius Martin, Masato Tanaka, Will Ospreay, Rich Swann, Ethan Allen, Arrow Boy, Royce Chambers, Chris Jericho, Yuji Nagata, Mickey Knuckles, and Miro. And either Laredo Kid or Johnny Gargano will fill in that 32nd spot in round 5. There's a lot of names, and there will be a quiz later, so I hope you were taking notes. Gargano dragging Laredo Kid away from the ropes, hooks the leg and the neck, doesn't even get one. Scoop and a slam by Johnny Wrestling. Laredo Kid out onto the logo and then drop kicks him in the back of the head. Circling each other. Big overhand chop from Laredo Kid. Now an elbow to the spine. That could happen. I have revenge. And that would be... Yeah, that could happen in the quarterfinals. Yes, it would be in the quarterfinals. If that happens, I will figure out how to run my N64 through my capture card. I think I know how. I've just never done it before. But I do still have my original copy of Revenge. I might have to go in and revert people back to their original gimmicks, because I did the wrestler editor a lot. Mostly because I used to think it was hilarious when that opening cinematic with the truck driver pulling in and like Sting standing there in his badass crow gimmick holding a baseball bat. I used to love like putting the old Sting face paint on him and then like having him wearing a pink shirt and like Stevie Richards shorts, just because I was no, I was old enough to where that shouldn't have been funny anymore. No, I was 15 or 16. That's like peak humor right there. Suplex by Laredo Kid. But yeah, I think I could arrange that. That I think is the only match that is possible in a single game outside of Fire Pro without using the create option, which I guess I could do. I mean, I guess I could just download community creations on 2K. Right? Well, and especially, I mean, you're driving a truck, so you don't want to run the guy over. But it'd be weird. To each their own, do what you want to do. But if all of a sudden I see that in my headlights, I'm going to be, whoa, hold on. Sorry, buddy, you ride or something? Psychiatric care? Smoking a pan? DDT from Gargano. Drags Laredo Kid toward the center of the ring. Stomp on the spine. Arm drag. Lucha style there from Laredo Kid. Off the ropes. Tilt-a-whirl head scissor. Laredo Kid pulling Gargano to his feet. Scoop. And a slam. Thought for a second he might go for a Michinoku driver. Oh, just a slam. Sending him off the ropes. Another deep arm drag from Laredo Kid. Gargano back towards the center of the ring. Standing moonsault. 1, 2. Nope, not even 2. Wow. We're still early. Strap yourselves in, kids. Just runs up his chest into a backflip. Not quite a drop salt, but still pretty cool. Hurricanrana hooks both legs, but they were in the ropes. Maybe if he hadn't hooked the legs, it wouldn't have been. Super kick from Gargano. Behind. Nope, another arm drag. And down as we reach the 10.5-minute mark of our main event here on episode 44 of the 500. 1 slot remains in the round of 32, and it will be claimed by either Laredo Kid, the number 22 seed. Oh, he's the one with the pin right now. Only got a 2 count. And Johnny Gargano, the number 43 seed. Well, I shouldn't say 1, because we learned earlier that not necessarily one person will advance from each match. Earlier tonight, we did have our first ever draw between Miro and Masaaki Mochizuki, that then turned into a 3-way with El Desperado, that Miro wound up winning anyway. Suplex from Laredo Kid, and he eats a kick to the top of the head. Gargano going for the pin after just a little kick to the head. That would have been embarrassing if that was the finish. Fortunately, it wasn't. But Gargano, obeying rule number 1 of pro wrestling school, always look like you're going for the win. Big DDT off the top rope. Gargano escape. Gargano maybe escape. Gargano, yes, escape. Chops back and forth. Overhand from Laredo Kid. Knife edge from Gargano, and a discus lariat from Johnny Wrestling. Arm drag there from Laredo Kid. Shotgun drop kick to the face. Gargano most likely going to escape. Suplex here from Laredo Kid. That's the 14-minute mark. Quick roll up. 1, 2. Kick out by Gargano. Going for a suplex again. Gargano on his feet. Spinning kick to the midsection. And then a super kick. Another arm drag from Laredo Kid. A punch to the chest. Another suplex. Laredo Kid getting that vertical suplex in early and often here. And then just a straight punch to the face from Gargano. Another arm drag. Folks, I promised Laredo Kid in real life much more exciting than his digital counterpart has been in this match. Gargano, I think, went for a spear there, but missed. Another super kick from Gargano. Off the ropes. And he slams on the brakes when he sees Laredo Kid getting to his feet. Laredo Kid puts Gargano up on the top rope. Going for a No! Top rope cutter! Bang! 1, 2.9. That almost did it. Hurricanrana. 1, 2, 3. That does do it. Number 22. Laredo Kid advances to the round of 32. Folks, this has been an eventful night on the 500. We started the night with 44 wrestlers in the tournament. We are down to 32. We started with 500, and we are down to 32. Quick recap of the night. Biff Busick over Zachary Wentz. Yuji Nagata over Adam Priest. El Desperado over Donnie Janela. Matehan over Kofi Kingston. Mickey Knuckles over Jon Moxley. Miro and Masaaki Mochizuki fought to a double countout. Laredo Kid over Josh Alexander. Johnny Gargano over Eddie Edwards, Yuji Nagata over Biff Busick, Mickey Knuckles over Matehan, and then in the first ever three-way match in the 500, Miro beat both El Desperado and Masaaki Mochizuki by getting Desperado to tap out the Accolade. And then as you just saw in our main event, Laredo Kid beats Johnny Gargano, Johnny Wrestling, to set up a 5th round showdown with Yuji Nagata. So, during the match, I ran through the 31 other wrestlers who have advanced, and now we know Laredo Kid is the 32nd. Next week, we are going to kick off the round of 32 and the round of 16. It's going to be like the last few weeks were, where we're going to have 8 5th round matches, with the winners moving on to 4 6th round matches. And so 16 will enter, 4 will leave. So next week's matches, we've got Hartley Jackson against Don't Die Miles, Karrion Kross against Antonio Honda, Konosuke Takeshita against Willie Mack, Shingo Takagi against Frankie Kazarian, Nick Gage against Powerhouse Hobbs, Jey Uso against Matt Jackson, Kota Ibushi against Leon Ruffin, and Ricky Shane Page against Luchasaurus. And then the winners of those 8 matches will then face each other. The 4 winners of those matches go on to the season finale 3 weeks from tonight. It'll be 2 weeks from that night to the quarterfinal round to face off to become the first ever World Simulated Champion. And then we also know, based on tonight's results, that Laredo Kid, Miro, Mickey Knuckles, and Yuji Nagata will join the likes of Will Ospreay, Suwama, Rich Swann, Chris Jericho, Jacob Fatu, and the others who advance on the other half of the bracket. We'll talk about that more in depth next week. But yeah, next week we might have the number 496 seed, the 5th lowest rated wrestler on the PWI 500 last year, who didn't even make this year's list, might wind up in the quarterfinals if he can beat Karrion Kross and then either Don't Die Miles or Hartley Jackson, whoever comes out of that match. Honestly, anybody in that part of the bracket except Karrion Kross would be a huge upset. Kross is number 16. Jackson is 449. Don't Die Miles is 480. Antonio Honda is 496. It's a bonkers bracket still going forward. The chalk winners would be Takagi, Ibushi, Uso, and Kross. But so many weird things have happened in this tournament. I would not bet money on any favorites. For all we know, we're going to see Don't Die Miles and Mickey Knuckles in the finals, and I think that would be freaking awesome. You know what else I think is freaking awesome? You guys. Even though, we only had a couple of chatters. Andy, thanks for sticking with me all night. And a shout out to Underdog Plays, who was on earlier. I don't know if you were lurking the whole time or if you just popped in, dropped a couple comments, and then bolted. That's cool too. I can see there's been a few others of you just watching, not commenting. That's totally fine. I do the same thing on Twitch all the time. But I do appreciate you for watching. Thank you so much. We will be back next week, and then the week after that, and then the week after that, we'll have a World Simulated Champion. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next week.